Hi everybody, it's Kelly Page, Certified Transformational Health and Nutrition Coach, doing my weekly check-in. I'm noticing a range of emotions that people are feeling right now as this pandemic continues to go on. We have a lot of emotions circulating, whether you're at home alone or you're with other people. Chances are you felt lonely from time to time. We can feel lonely with people or without people. We're probably also feeling frustrated and anxious. Anyone finding themselves lashing out at people around them and just acting in ways you don't normally act, or saying things you don't normally say, or just having these reactions that you're not necessarily proud of? Yeah. We all are, whether it's virtual or in person, we can have these really strong reactions. The thing is, we want people to act a certain way, and they're not. And that is a source of frustration now and always. We've always had this frustration of, if only people would act the way I want them to act, then I could be happy. Right? This is an age-old thing, and it is times 1,000 right now, because I'm sure you've seen people without the mask or without regard to some of the rules, and you're like, dang, I'm at home, I'm doing the rules, I'm covering my face, and there's just so much frustration that can happen when people aren't doing what we want them to do, right? It's hard. So we want people to be sensitive to our needs. But the thing that we forget is that everyone is going through this too, and they're equally frustrated, they're equally upset, and they're likely wishing we'd act differently. Yeah, I know. We always think that we are the one doing the right things, and we're looking around and like, wow, if only they would do this, and people are looking at you with a similar reaction. But the truth is, none of us are showing up as our best self 100% of the time. It's just not possible. If you are, you send me a note, let me know your secrets. I'm doing the best I can, but man, we have these moments. So let's talk about how we can move through this with some grace and maybe a little sanity. And here's what it starts with. It starts with you. You meaning me, you. I've talked about this before. You are the only thing you can control. Your thoughts, only thing you can control. Can't control any of that. But you gotta take care of you. You are leading the charge on this. And by taking care of you, that is not selfish. If you're annoyed, you're gonna spread that annoyance all around. You ever done that? I've done that. But when you're happy, and you're balanced, you spread that around. So that is equally contagious. So how do you take care of you? You gotta fill your cup up with whatever it is you need, and everyone's needs are gonna be different. Here's my question. Do you know what you need besides this to be over, where we are right now? What do you need? What lights you up? Is it quiet time? And if you're struggling for quiet time right now, as many people are, if you've got kids in the house and you're working and you're just no time, you gotta carve it out. Just like you carve out time to work, just like you carve out time to eat, you gotta carve out time for you. And whether that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'd love it if it were an hour, but that might not be possible. Maybe you get little pieces throughout the day. You tell everyone, Mom's going in her mom cave, or you're taking a walk, or you're on a call, or whatever it is. You do that and you tell them, I am doing that so I will be a better person when I come out, right? Wouldn't you love that? Wouldn't you love Mom to be happy when she got out? So do whatever it is that fills you up, even if it's just a few minutes. You gotta feed your soul. Some of us are just getting by. We're kind of just in this survival mode. The thing is, we're gonna be in this a little while longer. So I feel like you can do better than survival. You know, how can you move beyond just the basics? You know, what can you do beyond the basics of, are you just working and then Netflixing everything that there is to Netflix. I'm seeing so many threads of what's everyone watching, which is great. Let's share that. But let's also share what it is that we're doing. Can you be creating something? Can you be cooking something new? Can you learn something? Would you love to learn Russian? Okay, maybe not Russian, French, Italian. Let's support our Italian friends right now. I think that'd be a good idea. So whatever it is, fill your cup. Find out what it is that you want and need in your life right now and fill it up. And think back, before all of this happened, when you had all the time in the world, what did you like to do? What is it that you really enjoyed doing and you may have put that on the shelf like, oh, I can't do that now. But even if it's just for a few minutes, try. The other thing I want to share is it's super important to make sure you're connecting with people. And before you say the obvious, I have a few extra points on this because as we continue deeper into this, I'm seeing the connections shift a lot. And I want you to be mindful of that. Now, I'm finding people are in two camps. You've either never been on a Zoom or a video call with any family and friends, and if that's the case, highly recommend it. Really important to see people's faces and mannerisms and just be seen yourself. But here's the other camp that I'm seeing. If you are on Zoom 7 days a week, as I've been with family and friends, which has been great the first few weeks, but then it sometimes gets to be a little too much. For me, I have moments where I just can't Zoom anymore. I don't want to look at a screen anymore. And it makes me more frustrated. It's like, I just want to be in person. These screens are killing me. And sometimes in some groups, I see this kind of negative bonding that goes on. Yeah, we're going through something really hard right now. And it's super easy to do this sucks and life is over and kind of grouping everyone around this negative sentiment so that when you get off a call, you're like, oh man, I don't feel good. So be careful of the themes, the topics of the group. And if you can, try to navigate the conversation to more positive. And if that group just wants to talk about the doomsday scenario, maybe that's not the group for you anymore. And the other thing I'm noticing with groups, depending on how the size of it, sometimes it's just nice if you haven't seen a big group in a while, you see them, but sometimes you can feel even more lonely at the end because in a group, you're not always heard and really seen, and you're not really sharing from the heart. It's just kind of these sweeping things. So what I'm recommending now for the over Zoomers or the negative Zoomers or the huge Zoom groups where you're not really being heard or you're not really saying much, supplement with one-on-one. I'm now going back old school. I went to the big groups and now I'm going back to the smallers. And FaceTime, I can do that. And sometimes I just want a phone call. But supplementing with the one-on-one allows you to go even deeper. Where the Zoom might leave you feeling a little empty at the end, or a little disconnected and not seen or heard, doing the one-on-one really allows you to connect with another human being. And I think that's what we're all longing for right now is one-on-one connection, or just connection at some point. And the Zoom fills a purpose at a certain point, but then you're like, dang, I just want to talk and I just want someone to know what I'm going through and what I'm doing. So I'm recommending the group call as well as the one-on-one. And depending on where you are, just notice that. And the other thing you might need to do is to add some people in your life. If you're home with a spouse or with kids, they may not get your meditation gig or your self-improvement or your knitting or whatever it is, that hobby that you have that you like, that maybe you used to go out of the house for, you used to go places and do the things with, right? So you may at this point need to find an online group that specializes in your passion, whatever it is, because I don't want that piece of you dying, right? And your spouse sometimes can't be your everything. Your spouse may not share every single passion that you have, which is fine as long as they respect it. But I want you to still foster it. So I want you to have groups and people that you can talk, that you can nerd out on some of this stuff with. Because you might be tempering yourself right now. You might be tempering feelings, emotions, whatever it is you love to talk about. But you know your audience. I certainly have lots of audiences for lots of different things that I do in my life. So make sure you're tapping into the people that bring all of the different sides out on you, because you're a well-rounded person, and I don't want you just to be survival mode person who just eats and works and then Netflix. You're a gorgeous, wonderful 360 of a person, so keep fostering those passions however it is that you can. And I know times are different, but I also know times are different and everything is online now. Like, you can take all of these online classes. Harvard is offering this free happiness course. It's their most popular course at Harvard, and it's free right now. So whatever it is, and before you say, I can't do that, and it's not the same, just try. I feel like we've gone through these waves of this shock of, oh my gosh, what are we going through? To we're now settling like, oh yeah, no, this really is the new norm. So the things you may have put on the shelf before, pick those up again. Like, get out and try and figure out how you can still keep your hobbies alive. Those little side pieces of you that are not your work. Because a lot of people, the work has never been their passion, right? But they have all these projects. That was me before I came to this. I had a corporate job, and on my free time, I went to cooking school, and I went to nutrition school. I learned how to meditate, and I did all of these things on the side. And right now, I feel like everyone's sides have gotten pushed away. So think about what maybe you've pushed aside for a little while, and see how you can bring that back into your life. So, back to you. You are filling yourself up so you can fill everyone up around you. There was actually an interesting report that talked about people who were self-reported lonely, who went and helped other people. There are physical changes in your body when you go and help other people, physical changes. The pieces in you that help fight, the systems in you that help fight inflammation, those are bolstered when you help someone else. So helping someone else physically changes your body and helps you reduce inflammation. And you definitely want to be reducing inflammation now, because when you're inflamed, you're more susceptible to various things in the air that are flying around. So help someone else. That's another way to fill yourself up. And whether you know them or don't know them, whether you drop groceries to someone, you give money. That was another interesting thing that the study said, that it didn't matter whether you helped physically or virtually. You still got the same anti-inflammation effects in your body. Sorry, I just had a poor internet connection there, but I'm back and I am grateful for the internet. So in wrapping up, just be gentle with yourself and others right now. Everyone is going through this together, and everyone is handling it in a very different way, and it is likely a way it is not the same as yours. So just be mindful of that. Every time you get upset when someone reacts to you in a certain way, know that you're probably doing that to someone else, right? Everyone wants to act the same way. We want people to act like us, and they want us to act like them. So be gentle. Just be gentle with yourself, be gentle with those in your life. Show yourself some love, show your family, your friends love, show strangers some love. Because remember, all we have jurisdiction over is ourselves and our brain. So focus on filling yourself up so you can fill up everyone around you. You can be the inspiration for people around you. Be the light for someone else and say, hey, I want what she's having. So that's it for today. If anyone needs any help, please direct message me. I'd love to help you through this difficult time. And if not, I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Bye.